show. That'll do it for us. We'll head up to the booth now for your first kickoff of the spring season.
Well, the calendar says 2021, but in the eyes of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, it's actually 2020, and it's game one for North Dakota State and Youngstown State. Hello, everyone. I'm Lee Timmerman, along with All-American, Buchanan Award winner, NFL veteran, Kyle Emanuel. Ryan Gellner will join us shortly. Kyle, we're used to having something called spring football, but we've never seen a spring like this, have we?
Right, Lee. And football players are creatures of habit, right? They don't like things that kind of take them out of their routine. And NDSU, as well as Youngstown and everyone in the country, is going to have to deal with that this year. This is a new Youngstown team, new coaches, a lot of new things happening in this year. We'll see what happens, but it should be fun. I think the guys are just excited. They get to play football that counts, and not only do they get to play this week, they get to play next week, and it keeps going. Unlike everything that's happened with this pandemic, there's finally some consistency.
It will be fun. It's 141 days between game one and game two for NDSU in the same season. How strange is that? Well, it's the Bison and the Penguins, and it's next on the KVOY, KFYR Bison Television Network.
Get your horns out! Yeah, you can hear the herd coming, baby, like it or not. We've been waiting while tailgating in the parking lot. Now that clock is ticking down, the boys are ready to go. The energy in here's electric. Let's get on with the show. Get your horns up. The green and gold are back in town. Get your horns up. Pumped up and ready to throw down. Toss that corn up in the air. Bring the boys up to the line. Hold your horns up high because it's Bison time.
Well, it is not a spring break. It is a spring 8 for the North Dakota State football team. Hello again from the Fargo Dome. Lee Timmerman and Kyle Emanuel will direct this thing for you from the booth. And Kyle, the Bison will get the football first. The offense will go out there, and we will get our first look at what Zeb Nolan does as a starter.
Yeah, we will. And I think, we've talked about all these unknowns for an hour and a half now. And I think if you're Youngstown State, you have to come out and you have to do something to get some momentum on your side early. If you remember back to the game in 2019, Lee, NDSU comes out, Trey Lance and that offense comes out, they get a 3-and-out. Youngstown State does. Then they fumble the punt. Jabril Cox goes down, of all people, on a punt. He causes a fumble. NDSU goes on to score, and the game was basically over from that standpoint. You're the underdog in this game. Go out and do something, I guess, surprising maybe. Come out on defense, bring some pressure, try to force a turnover. When you do get the ball on offense, maybe a trick play. I don't know, something, but I think they need to do something early on to get some momentum on their side and get these young Penguins to believe in this new system that Doug Phillips has brought in.
Well, obviously, Phillips and his coaching staff weren't there, but the last time that these two teams did play, last meeting was in Youngstown, and the Bison handed the Penguins the worst home loss in Youngstown State history. That was a 56-17 win for NDSU. Trey Lance had 3 touchdown passes, rushed for another one. That's the game you might remember that we first met, I shouldn't say first met, but Kobe Johnson burst onto the scene. He had a 75-yard rush touchdown and a 94-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah, and Kobe Johnson and Seth Wilson are the two backs that we're going to see a lot. Obviously, we know NDSU likes to run the football, and I'm really excited for Seth Wilson. We got to see him a little bit in that Central Arkansas game. Now, as Tyler Roll described them, 1A and 1B with him and Kobe Johnson. Let's see if they can come out. We know they're going to try to establish the run early. Don't put too much on Zeb Nolan's plate. Let's see if NDSU can get that running game going early.
Grant Gagne will get her started for the Penguins. Christian Watson and Rajon Nelson are back deep. Watson wears number 1, Nelson number 17. The spring season is underway, and it starts with a penalty. Hey, what else could we have in the wacky world in which this last year has been? It does make sense.
It's only right, Lee, for the opening kickoff to go out of bounds. But hey, it's going to be good starting field goal, or field position, I should say, for Zeb Nolan in this offense.
I'm still laughing. You're right. That's about the only way this goofy thing has started. Zeb Nolan, the senior from Watkinsville, Georgia. You see number 1, Christian Watson. I would say look for Watson to get involved early.
I would too. I think, you know, I really think he might be the most talented guy to have on offense, and I don't think you can just throw him the ball. I think maybe some reverses, some different things like that. You have to get your best players the ball any way you can.
Babbage circles back in, and the inside handoff and a couple of yards on play number 1 for the Bison.
And you're going to see that early and often. I think, you know, when we did talk to Tyler Roll, like I said, he wants to do some things early to keep the offense on schedule, meaning, you know, 3 or 4 yards on first down and then maybe half that on second down. Get them in third and manageable, which they didn't do a great job of in the last time we saw NDSU against Central Arkansas.
Second down and 8 for the Bison out of the gun. Another inside handoff goes to Wilson, finds a little bit of speed up to the 43-yard line. Let's take a look at the Bison offensive starting lineup, brought to you by Shields, your Shields starting lineup with the Bison offense. We talked a lot about this offensive line. Jalen Sundell playing his first game. Zeb Nolan, the quarterback. Hunter Lupke may or may not be playing a little bit today. Cole Jacob, congratulations to Cole, named a captain this week and of all his work on the special teams. But of course, NDSU's offense is pretty diverse, and right now they're in a heavy personnel on 3rd and short. We're going to call it 3rd and 2. Watson will stretch and be right at the 45, which should be the first down.
Almost right on cue, Lee. There you go. Christian Watson coming out and getting the ball to him early. I like it. And this is basically just an extension of your running game. I know it's only 2 yards there, but sometimes rather than doing a toss or maybe an outside zone play, you do something like this. You have to keep the defense honest. As much as NDSU likes to run the ball up the middle, you can't do it every play.
Well, you get 3 downs and you need 10 yards. That's exactly what NDSU did. So it's 1st and 10 from the 45. Direct snap to Nolan. His first pass is off to the left, and it's a little flare, and it is another first down as that one is caught by Kobe Johnson, the sophomore from Lawrenceville, Georgia.
I love the play call from Tyler Roll. I mean, like we talked about, you're going to try to do some things early for Zeb, and this is just a simple getting the back out of the backfield. Looks like they caught Youngstown a little bit of in man-to-man. The linebacker there, 48, had Kobe out of the backfield, and he gets caught up in the traffic. And that's what you want. Early, easy completions, move the sticks, and the Bison are rolling.
Nolan will be up under center. Again, Jalen Sundell will be centering him. Bison move into almost a power I, but it's a fake off of that. Rolling, throwing, a little low, but caught on the out by Jake Lippy. Incomplete. Lippy, the intended receiver. Getting Nolan on the move there a little bit.
Yeah, and that play action obviously going to be a big part of the game too for NDSU. We talk about easy completions. You're going to have the back end out of the backfield early. We saw Kobe. Play action, getting Zeb outside of the pocket's another way to get those completions. It's just unfortunately a little bit low there.
Brosio was out in the flat, playing fullback, number 49. He's a redshirt freshman. And a handoff straight up the middle. And not much happening as the Penguins were right there at the point of attack.
Well, this is a strength of that Penguin defense, or at least it has been since I feel like I've been around, Lee. Up front, that front 7, they're always going to be good. I think that's going to be huge for NDSU to try to establish. We know they want to do it, and we know that NDSU, unlike a lot of teams, will not abandon that run, but it's not going to be easy. And Youngstown State's, they're going to be prepared for that. If anything, that's one thing you have to try and stop against this NDSU offense.
Tackled by many, but Vinny Gentile was there. Grant Dixon was there. Zaire Jones, number 1, the strong safety, was there. First 3rd and long here for this Bison offense on the opening drive. 3rd down and 8. Nolan set on time, looking deep to Watson. Overthrown, incomplete. There was a little bit of stumble, I think, in that pass play, which may have thrown Watson and Nolan's timing off just a hair.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was some type of interference or not. We see here with Christian, and we talked about it. I think that was more just him stumbling. I think that's good defense. I am a little bit biased. I'm gonna, even though I am an NDSU guy, I'm gonna side with the defensive guys sometimes too. I think that's just good football play there, and I like the refs letting him play a little bit.
So a couple of first downs for the Bison, but this drive goes to the 41 of Youngstown State, and a punt is underway. Wagner's punt takes a Youngstown bounce, but is still inside the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it about the 14-15. Matt Entz's defense heads out for the first time.
Well, so far, better off than last year. Like we just talked about, last year they got a 3-and-out. They fumble the opening punt. At least this time they're going to give their offense a chance. So let's see how loud it can get in here a little bit, Lee, with only about half capacity here in Fargo. I still think we're going to see a little bit of volume, though.
Joe Craycraft, a junior from Marion, Ohio, number 5, will be the quarterback. And here's some of that noise that Kyle was talking about. 2 receivers set off to the quarterback's left. Let's see what Craycraft does on first down. It will be a handoff and a pretty good run out across the 20. I think that was by London Pearson, number 9. Here's a look at our Shield starting lineup with the Youngstown State offense. Only one guy has any experience on the front. Coates is a really good punt returner getting his first start. Pearson, who just had that play. Moj is a transfer from the University of Cincinnati. He wears number 11. Nice pickup of 6, though, on first down, 2nd and 4 for the Penguins. Another handoff up the middle. I saw number 52, Jackson Hankey, among others, right there for the Bison.
Yeah, Jackson Hankey's a guy you're usually going to call his name out a lot. We were introduced to him last year, and he reminds me of his coach and Coach Grant Olson. Maybe not the most athletic guy out there, but he knows where to be. He's the smartest guy probably out there. He's always in the right position, and he is as tough as they come. He's going to get in there, and he's going to make a lot of plays.
You saw our Shield starting lineup there with the Bison defense. Hankey is the middle linebacker, the quarterback of that one, even though he slides off in this 3rd down and 4 situation. Out of the gun, and it'll be a run for Craycraft, and it will be a 3-and-out as the Bison pick up a stop in Youngstown's first possession.
Pretty conservative play calling in that first drive. I know Craycraft he has some experience. I'm a little surprised they didn't open it up a little bit more there. But remember, we are going to see 2 quarterbacks, and I think with Craycraft, you're going to see a little bit more of the traditional offense. We bring in Mark Wade.
He's a runner. Yep.
He's a runner, and you see a little bit of like a Drew Brees, Taysom Hill type situation that the Saints had.
Jaden Price was in on that tackle. You saw him go back to try to receive this punt. I believe that's Paddy Lynch, number 29, in the punt position. He's from Queensland, Australia. Whoever's going to have to retreat to about the 33 has this. Oh, he didn't get to the sideline. I thought he had it, but no, there was a nice open field tackle there. I believe that was Rushton on the tackle. No, excuse me, that was Lenton, number 4, Quincy Lenton. There's 2 number 4s. Well, each team has had a possession. We're still scoreless here on the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. Bison will have the ball when we come back. Is your Bison headquarters. Shop the exclusive Coaches Collection in store and online at shields.com. Bison take over at their own 37-yard line. First and 10 for the Bison at the 37-yard line. Nolan hands off. Kobe Johnson gets the corner, and he's almost up to midfield. So the Bison, no, he stepped out at about the 45, about 2 yards shy of a first down. First International sideline report. Let's go to Ryan Gellner.
Guys, you just saw the Kobe Johnson run. Well, Kobe's running back mate, Seth Wilson, it is not good news for Mr. Wilson. Of course, he has battled injuries his entire career. Guys, he is out again. It is a left knee injury for Seth Wilson. He right now is being stabilized on the Bison bench. The crutches are out, and we'll try to figure out the status of Seth Wilson. Right now, questionable.
On 2nd and short, Nolan goes to the air, and it is complete to Cole Jacob. This is one of those dirty shame categories you hear. Nodak Insurance Company replay. Here's Seth Wilson running it. He had a knee injury in the spring of last year. Yeah, and that's why it's wrapped up.
Yeah, you can see it right there, Lee. He just came in low, and that is the unfortunate part of this game. Look, we all love this game. It is a violent game, but you just feel for a guy like that who's battled back. He gets to play one game against Central Arkansas, and we just hope and pray that this is nothing serious, but it's not looking good.
Wilson had 55 yards rushing against Central Arkansas as well. Lippy, the ball is on the turf, and the Bison are able to cover it back up. A loss of 4, but you did not lose the ball. You'd gladly give up those 4 yards. As the exchange to Lippy just did not look very good.
Yeah, you see on the Nodak Insurance Company replay some more of this jet sweep action that we talked about them doing with Christian Watson. But first and foremost, you got to be able to hang on to the ball.
Probably the greatest variable in the outcome of a football game, that turnover column, isn't it?
It really is, and it's something, trust me, it's talked about, and it's one of the goals for both these teams.
14 yards to pick up a first after a play fake. Nolan will get a little pitch ahead there to Noah Gindorf. Gindorf, hey, he's a big kid. 266 pounds of him takes him almost to the first down marker.
And we haven't talked much about Gindorf or Babbage, but those are two of the better tight ends, if not in the country, at least the Missouri Valley. Those are two really talented guys, and we saw them last year. All they did was catch touchdowns.
Gate City Bank is a proud supporter of NDSU athletics. Show your Bison pride today with a free NDSU debit card from Gate City Bank. Visit gatecity.bank/mycard or visit one of our convenient locations to get yours. Go Bison, Gate City Bank, for a better way of life. Member FDIC. Well, 2nd and long is turned into 3rd and 1. Pitch back to Johnson, 1st down and more across the 30. That was a right up the gut. Let's see what you got. And the Bison offense really dominated the interior there.
Yeah, you'll see on this Nodak Insurance Company replay, the offensive line doing a really good job. I just kind of gave props to that Youngstown defense, but you can see right there laying out, I think that might be Gindorf right there. He comes up with a catch, and now he's a complete tight end. He's able to block and catch.
Well, the Penguins right now have a player down. I was unable to pick up his number. All right, tell you what, we'll go to the break as they take a look at the Youngstown State player. We'll be right back. Bison are in Penguins territory. 1st and 10 from the 31 when we come back. We are scoreless in the first quarter, 6:41 to go. It was Ty Eddington, who wears number 0, a senior for the Penguins, transferred, one of the many grad transfers from Eastern Michigan, who was injured on that play. Big guy, 326. First down play and a handoff on a jet to Watson, looking for a block or two. Gets up to about the 26-yard line. Let's go back down to Ryan Gellner.
Guys, it's a First International Bank sideline report. One member of our team who is not here is longtime play-by-play voice of the Bison, Brian Sean, who handles basketball and football for North Dakota State. Brian was diagnosed with colon cancer, had a cancerous tumor that was removed after a successful surgery earlier this month. Lee, you have filled his spot, but we do want to say hello to Brian. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you, and we will see you back on the field soon, buddy.
And thanks for Mr. Emmanuel to jump in and help out as well. Inside handoff to Ganella as he is close to first down yardage. And I tell you, Kyle, for me personally, that's a young man right there, Dominic Ganella, that I am really excited to see play. He is a professional baseball player. He was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals, an outfielder, and he is just a dynamite talent. I was looking at some highlights of high school. Looks like he runs really good in traffic. And I saw him in December put up 395 in the bench.
Yeah, for not a very big guy. And he's going to be pushed into some more action here, as we can see with Seth Wilson going out. We're going to get to see a lot more of him, I think, Lee.
Bison pick up the first down from the 22. Nolan, every time he's rolled, it's rolled right. He has all kinds of time. Zeb's not afraid to run. In fact, the Bison will encourage it at times, and he gets all the way down to the 15-yard line. I know he's not a Trey Lance, and Zeb Nolan will be the first to tell you, I'm not going to run it 30 times a game, but the Bison are not afraid to let him run it. Obviously not a designed run, but go ahead and see what you can get.
Right, and that's what I love to hear when we did talk to Tyler Roll. I asked him that question. I was like, hey, Trey Lance was like your go-to, right? When offense was struggling a little bit, that was your go-to. Can Zeb do that? And he said, yes, absolutely he can. And more importantly, I think just from his teammate standpoint, he's willing to do it.
Kobe Johnson with the handoff, a little hesitation move. Johnson's got the end, gets a good block from Jacob, and it's a touchdown. Our first points of the game scored by Kobe Johnson as the Bison have their first lead of the spring season.
Just a really good play design. You're going to see kind of a gap scheme here from NDSU. They pulled 2 offensive linemen, but this was a lot of Kobe Johnson, right? Sometimes you draw up a play and it works out well, but your running back has to make some people miss, and he does a really good job, as you're going to see right here on the Nodak Insurance Nodak Insurance Company replay. Sometimes you just got to make a couple people miss, and this is what we saw a little bit from him last year.
Bison going for 2, and they will get the 2 as it is run in for the 2 points. As Jake Reinholtz will score the 2 points. You might remember Jake kind of got banged up a little bit in that target field game, but the Bison have an 8-point lead. As you guys look at this touchdown, we will head to break. NDSU with 6 from Johnson, 2 from Reinholtz, and they're ahead. Matt Entz's team with an 8-point lead, and that's one thing we found out last year in Matt's first year as a head coach. He was not afraid to do something unconventional on 2-point conversions.
Yeah, Lee, he said he wants his opponents to have to defend every single part of this team, special teams, offense, defense, and he showed it last year, a willingness to do it, and some key points, and he did it again here in this opener.
Kickoff to Doug Phillips' team will go through the end zone, and the Penguins will come out on first down. Let's take a pause for a quick message from Bank of North Dakota.
Whether you're a parent, grandparent, friend, or family member, College Save is the perfect gift for your pride and joy. Now with more qualified withdrawals and $25 contributions, there's no reason to wait to help save for your pride and joy.
First and 10 for the Penguins at the 25-yard line.
Well, the Penguins have it at the 25-yard line and only have 7 yards of total offense so far in the game.
And I know it's early, Lee, but doesn't this kind of seem like an important drive a little bit? Like I talked about at the beginning, you know, they are the underdogs in this game, and they need something good to go for them, something good to happen to them, so they get some belief going. I know it's only 8-0, but it feels like this is kind of an important drive early on in this game.
And Craycraft will take it from his 20. Handoff straight ahead, and and nothing. I believe that was Pearson again. Nope, excuse me. Number 8, McLaughlin is the runner. This kid has quite a background in Division II. McLaughlin, number 8. In fact, he's a 2-time finalist for the Harlan Hill, which is the Division II, I guess, equivalent of the Heisman Trophy,
yep.
And he transferred in.
Yeah, and he's listed as 3rd on their depth chart, but even David Braun said, this is a guy we're worried about. He has a little bit of juice and unable to get something going there, though.
Loss of 1 on the play. Craycraft will keep it. Nothing there. Might have got 1.
That was actually Mark Wade. They're the second quarterback that we talked about. And right on cue, they do some quarterback run game.
Let's take 3rd and 10. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, like we talked about, this is the +1 running game, right? The quarterback, you have more guys able to block in, and just you not fool. I think they, obviously they know number 7 comes in the game. Be ready for run. We'll take our chances with the pass.
Yeah, now Craycraft is back in.
And we've seen that work. Like I mentioned, Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, that worked really well for them. Drew Brees couldn't really push the ball downfield as much later in his career, and it was able to work for him, bringing in Taysom Hill. We'll see if it can work for Youngstown.
Youngstown has some big tight ends, but they give the handoff to McLaughlin, getting the corner, but not enough for the first down. He needed to get up to the 35. He will be short of that on that 3rd and 10 play, but there is a flag.
Stop on the play by number 92, Lane Tucker. Penalty flag on the play.
Usually in the direction of a hold when you get on the edge like that and you see a flag come out.
Holding. Offense, number 11, 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Aaron Adams is our referee, the white hat today. He and his crew. Number 11 is Malik Moj, who they called the penalty on.
With the penalty. Makes it 3rd and 16 for the Penguins.
Well, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 16.
Well,
you have a lot of plays for 3rd and 1. You do not have many
no,
for
this. No,
this.
you don't. This is the opposite of being on schedule.
And it'll be a handoff again to McLaughlin, who gets about 2 yards short of where he was before. It'll be 4th down for Youngstown State.
Youngstown State not showing a big willingness to, I don't know if it's a risk thing or they just don't want to turn the ball over early, but they're running the ball. They ran the ball on 3rd and 10. Now they're running the ball on 3rd and 16. Makes a little bit more sense on 3rd and 16. At that point, you don't, like you said, Lee, you don't have a lot of things in the playbook passing wise to gain 16 yards, and the defense knows it's coming.
Nick Del Salvo is back to punt this time. Del Salvo is a sophomore from Youngstown. Nice high punt. Fair catch is made. The Bison offense will come out 1st and 10 from about the 31. Let's pause now for a quick message from Advanced Business Methods.
Trust Advanced Business Methods for all your print and document solutions. From multifunctional printers to managed print, ABM has the experience to keep your work flowing. Contact us today to advance your business.
I don't know if you saw it on that Bobcat scoring recap that we had up for you. It was a 9-play touchdown drive for the Bison as Zeb Nolan and crew come back out here from the 32. Up the middle, up to the 39, gain of 5.
Well, this is the formula, right, Lee? We've seen it for about 10 years now. I was a part of it for a while there, but play really good defense, force 3 and outs, and let your offense go down. Maybe we've seen more big plays out of this NDSU offense, but just drive the ball down, wear this defensive out. And I know it's simple to talk about, but it's hard to do, and NDSU has done it really well for about a decade now.
So Ganella picks up the 7 yards on the run. He is the man just to the right of Zeb Nolan. And Ganella will get it again, trying the left side, and he busts through, picks up a 1st down, takes a really good hit, but the Bison do pick up the 1st.
Welcome to NDSU a little bit. That's all right. You burst through the line there, and you're going to take some big hits every now and then, but once again, NDSU moving the ball on the ground. And here you're going to see on the Nodec Insurance Company replay, does a really good job of staying on his feet. Youngstown was ready for him a little bit after that, though.
Yeah, Jalen Madison, a sophomore defensive back, coming up and picking up the hit. Up under center now. Bison continue to try to work the middle. Not much there. Maybe across midfield by a yard or so.
That looked like, to me, the bread and butter A-gap.
Expenses piling up this semester, whether it's a new laptop, college books, or a much-deserved winter getaway trip. Turn to Gate City Bank for a personal loan with low rates. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Yeah, like I was saying, Lee, just that bread and butter A-gap power that we've seen from NDSU for so many years, and I had to go against for 5 years. It's not always fun. I mean, you're only trying to get 3 or 4 yards, but it takes a toll on a defense.
Ganella again. Not much opens up this time as the Penguins are right there to stop it. Maybe a gain of 1. 3rd down coming, 3rd and long, end of the 1st. So 1 quarter is in the books here from the Fargo Dome. On the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard, the Bison lead it by 8. Capacity is ticket availability for this first home game. Bison have their next 2 games on the road. Zeb Nolan and the offense with 107 total yards in that first quarter. First play of the second. It's a 3rd down, looking for a screen. Oh, and there were yards to be had if the pass would have connected to Kobe Johnson, but none of that happened.
Yes, there was, Lee. That worked out about as perfect as you can have for a screen. We could see it from up here. He had wide open and unfortunately just tripped up.
Let's take a look at today's quarterback comparison, sponsored by the North Dakota Beef Commission, funded by beef farmers and ranchers. These are numbers for Craycraft coming into the game.
Yeah, and Craycraft was kind of rushed into duty last year in this game, actually, when Nathan Mays went down. And we talked about it, he's a little bit more of a traditional quarterback, not going to run a ton, but he is capable of doing a little bit of both.
Another punt from Wagner. Fair catch by Coates will be taken at about the 7-yard line. And I tell you, That's a good thing if you're NDSU. You do not want number 10 returning punts. He's one of the best that Youngstown State has ever had at doing that. So a fair catch for the Bison in this situation is a good thing. Now let's take a look at the Bison side of our quarterback comparison. Once again, funded by Beef Farmers and Ranchers.
Yeah, Zeb Nolan coming in, taking over for Trey Lance, who we all know about, a really good player, going to be drafted in the first round of the NFL draft here coming up. But I was really liked Zeb's story. You know, coming over from Iowa State, Big 12, it looked like he was gonna have to sit behind Trey for a couple years. He sticks around. He stays in the North Dakota State program. He just says he wants to play college football. He wants to have a good experience. He stays. Now he's a captain without ever playing a game. And we're getting to see what he can do here in his opener against the Penguins.
And he helps recruit Quincy Patterson as well, because those guys know each other. This looks like Wade in there at quarterback. Again, he's the guy that is more of a runner, but he hands off this time, and a quick close by James Kaiser coming up to make the tackle.
Well, we are approaching a minute into the second quarter, and to my knowledge, Youngstown State has now still not attempted a pass. I think part of that might be they do have a young offensive line. NDSU, arguably their deepest position is defensive end, so they can get after the quarterback. Maybe they're trying to neutralize that a little bit. At some point, though, right, Lee, you got to open up the playbook a little bit and throw the ball downfield and try and get something going.
Kaiser now a linebacker, true and true. He played some defensive back. There was a need for him to move to the linebacker position, and that's what James is right now, number 26. Wade is up under center.
Becoming the modern linebacker a little bit.
On a 2nd and 7, another handoff. A little forward momentum, gets it past the 10, maybe up to the 12, so it'll be 3rd down once again for Youngstown State.
And they're moving the ball a little bit. You know, I can't blame them. I love when teams try to establish the run. I think that's key. As you look at the Nodak Insurance Company replay, you got to run the ball a little bit, but NDSU's pretty good against the run. They always have been traditionally. I just think at some point you got to start throwing the ball downfield, and maybe we'll see it right here, although they have been running the ball on 3rd down as well.
That was Kaiser in on that tackle once again. James, one of 10 kids.
Wow.
One short of a football team.
Yeah. Maybe that's how he got so good. He was out there practicing.
Football's in the family. Had a bunch of brothers that played college football as well. So it's 3rd down once again. 3rd and 4. The crowd trying to heat it up a little bit, and Coach Phillips will take a timeout.
Yeah, there's some confusion there. You could tell from the get-go.
As Coach Phillips calls his team to the side, let's take a quick pause for this message from Shields.
Now announcing the Shields NDSU Coaches Collection starting lineup, featuring gear hand-selected by the Bison coaching staff. Available in-store and online at shields.com. Go Bison!
You know, Kyle, I was just looking through numbers and some things just to try to get ready for the game, and I was looking through career rushing yards for NDSU. And one thing, and I saw this name, and I laughed and I smiled. See if you can guess who it is. 1 career rush, 20 yards, 1 touchdown.
Ooh.
It may have happened in a significant part of a championship football game. It was Jimmy Football's fake field goal.
No, that's what I was going to say, James Hendrick, but he had to have more rushes than that.
No.
That's funny.
No, he had the 1. It's 3rd down for the Penguins. A little delayed handoff. Tristan Turner goes down, and the Bison defense comes off the field again. Spencer Wagee. Well, look at how big that guy looks now.
I was just going to say, there's one of those DNs we were talking about. Spencer Wagee, he's listed at 6'5", 274. You can see on this Nodak Insurance Company replay. He just busts through the line, and that is not a small man. And trust me, with defensive ends, especially in the Missouri Valley, are not often 6'5", 275. That is approaching NFL size right there.
Well, that's one of the advantages Wagee has with that extra size on a passing type down. He can move inside, and he beats the center in that regard.
Yeah, and it gives, we talk about his size and all the depth they have at defensive end, it gives defensive coordinator Coach Braun, you know, the opportunity to move some of those guys inside of those passing situations, get some more speed on the field.
The Bison will have a short field. In fact, only 40 yards away from the end zone when we come back, but NDSU with an 8-0 lead. Welcome back to the Fargo Dome. Shields is a proud sponsor of NDSU Athletics. Shields is your Bison headquarters. Shop the exclusive Coaches Collection in-store and online at shields.com. So the Bison defense sets up the offense here on a 1st and 10 from the 40 with an 8-point lead. 12-13 to play in our first half. Zeb Nolan up under center. Handoff to the tailback, looking to squeeze something outside, but Kobe Johnson cut down for no gain.
I think the 40-yard line got him there, Lee. He had a little bit of a hold. Once again, this offensive line doing a good job of giving him some opportunities. I wouldn't be surprised to see a shot here, right? You're in the fringe. This is what you call the red zone fringe, or you're in the plus territory. You're past 50-yard line. You only need a few yards for getting to field goal range. Maybe a shot to Christian Watson here, if he's even on the field, which he doesn't look like he is.
Nope, he is not. But 2 tight ends with Yankee and Babbage, and I think there was that Gindorf maybe out there too.
You line up in 13 personnel and shift to 11 personnel.
Nolan looking left, little square out, caught by Cole. No, that's Jake Lippy. Lippy stretches, tries to get the first down, and marked at first down yardage.
Well, this was kind of the first look we've had at Zeb on just a true drop back. We've seen a lot of him rolling out, and you see on the Nodak Insurance Company replay, and he's just decisive. I remember this was kind of similar. We saw Trey Lance last year. You just didn't really know what you were going to see. We haven't seen a lot of him. He's a young kid. Obviously, Zeb's a little bit more experienced, but just being decisive and making your reads, making a throw, quick, precise throw, and getting the first down and moving the chains.
That was a great angle at looking at the eyes of Nolan, too, as he was looking downfield. So it's a 1st and 10 now for the Bison. And here might be that shot you were calling for. Nope, it's a deep out. Cole Jacob up to the 15. Well, you talk about having a cushion given to you by the corner, and this one was wide open.
Yeah, you see right here on this replay. And when you're running when you're running the ball that well, sometimes you just get one-on-one and you see, hey, can my guy beat yours? And right there, Cole Jacob was able to do it.
So a pass play to Lippy and a pass play to Jacob has the football down inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 16. Handoff, trying to bounce, still on his feet, down to about the 11. Want to pay off student loans faster? Gate City Bank's Better Life Student Loan Program has no fees and a low fixed interest rate to help you put your hard-earned money where it matters most. Join other Gate City Bank homeowners who have saved over $20 million in student loan interest. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're already seeing from Tyler Roll the multiple personnel groupings he can use, right? When we talked to him, he said they might play 6, 7 receivers. They obviously have good tight ends. They're going all over the place with these personnel groupings, and I think that keeps the defense on their toes.
Christian Watson one-on-one near side. No, goes back over the middle trying to get tight end Babbage. Incomplete. That one sailed a little high. Bison fans, you may have heard, thought there was a little contact early, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, you can see on this Nodak Insurance Company replay.
He's riding pretty good.
Yeah, I would say that warranted a flag, but sometimes you get away with those.
Well, at least college football is not, in my eyes, as bad as the NFL. In the NFL, that's an easy flag. I mean, these poor players trying to play defensive pass coverage usually don't have much of a chance, but it is 3rd down now. And it's a keeper by Nolan. Run down from behind, gets to the 10. 4th down coming.
There's a quarterback run game we talked about. That was the Trey Lance bread and butter right there. In fact, he probably scored almost on that exact same play, the first touchdown against Youngstown last year. But I like the willingness to just show, hey, yeah, Zeb might be more of a pocket passer, but he will run the ball, and like we talked about, he's a willing runner.
Be a 28-yard attempt for Reinholtz. Made 1 field goal in the Central Arkansas game. That was a 27-yarder. This one pounded up and through. So the Bison get the short field and come away with 3 points. It's an 11-0 lead on your Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. The home team is out in front. And welcome back to Bison football on the KVLY KFYR Bison Television Network. A 2020 champion will be crowned this year in May.
In 2021.
In 2021.
I guess that's normal, right?
Well, it's just a little bit later.
Yep, the winter always happens in the year after.
Here's your Bobcat scoring recap. 7 plays leading to that Jake Reinholdt's field goal. And the Penguins, his foot is on the line. Is this a touchback? Did he come off?
And I don't think the ball crossed the plane,
I don't think so either. Yep. And that's something that's different from college than in the NFL. It's where the ball is at, not necessarily where the player is.
Right.
If I remember that.
I believe
correct.
you're correct. Yes, your foot can go over the line as long as the ball doesn't cross. And you'd be surprised how often that happens. You see it kind of all the time. Like, I want to go, but my return man doesn't want to go. Oh, I guess we're staying. But if you're Youngstown State, that last drive, Bison get the ball on the 40-yard line, you have to be happy with the field goal, right? I think the defense did a good job. Now they just have to get something going offensively, get something positive for this team to kind of start to believe in, hey, we have a chance in this game.
Spencer Wagee looking where he was going to line up here. Doug Phillips' team has not thrown a pass yet today. 1st and 10 from its own 25. There's the first pass. It's over the middle, and it's incomplete. Oh, Cox was close. As this one was bounced away, I think Jazeer thought, get my hands on that thing.
Maybe that's why we haven't seen a pass yet. That was just about 6 for the Bison. Jazeer Cox just about took that one to the house.
There's Jazeer. Yes, indeed, he is the brother of Jabril Cox. And I should probably just apologize right now because I know this year when Jazeer's going to make a play, and I'm going to say Jabril.
Yep. That's all right. They kind of look alike. You can tell they're related.
9:01 left to go, first half. They will hand it off to McLaughlin with nothing on the left side of the offensive line, meaning that right side of the Bison defense was right there. Wagee among others. Tucker also there. And James Kaiser.
Talked about James Kaiser a little bit earlier. I talked about the modern linebacker, especially look at the NFL a little bit. Linebackers are turning into more of DBs, right? They're big DBs. A lot of linebackers that come into the NFL, they played safety in college. They gain a little bit of weight. You want the speed guy, but you also got to be willing to hit. You still have to be able to play the run. I think James Kaiser is a good example of that here for this Bison defense.
And a lot of teams with RPOs is probably the reason why, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Well, Penguins in 3rd and long once again. 3rd and 8, trying to set up a screen off to the left side, and it is a first down. First one of the game for the Penguins, as that pass was caught to Natavius Payne, and he got the first down yardage. He is a sophomore from Doral, Florida.
Yeah, they're finally able to get something going a little bit. Sometimes a screen is something that you have to do there. We see they get it out to number 3. That is Natavius Payne, and he's able to do something with it and finally get something going positively for this Penguin offense.
Thought the key thing was that someone got on Josh Hayes right away, where you couldn't allow Hayes to kind of break down on him. So
that receiver block, that initial block, is usually the key one when you run a screen like that.
Somebody wants a timeout? No. They're going to booth replay this on whether it was first down yardage. Is that what I gathered?
I believe
from,
that's what's happening.
Mr. Adams?
I thought from up here he had it pretty easily, but you never know. Sometimes those knees come down earlier than it looks.
I thought you were going to say from up here we can always tell.
Oh, yeah, no, we're never wrong from up here, Lee.
An interesting path. Here's the Nodak Insurance Company replay. Need to get across the 45. Hand is down.
Yeah, I just see hand. I see nothing. Tough to, and again, it has to be clear and obvious. Elbow is down. It's hard to say where that football is, though, Lee. I don't know if you can overturn that.
Clive Townsend, by the way, is our replay official, and he's the one that called down and said, hey, let's make another look and take another look at this. I was about to say that Doug Phillips, as we saw him, the head coach, he's got an interesting path to becoming the head coach here at Youngstown State. His last 3 years he was at the University of Cincinnati as the tight end coach, and he was at Iowa State, a director of player personnel, so he knows a little bit about Zeb Nolan, because Nolan and the defensive coordinator Joe Schaefer were also at Iowa State together, so there's a little bit of a tie there. And before the game, we saw Coach Phillips come up, find number 8, gave Zeb a great big hug about an hour or so before the game. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment for them. And you kind of forget all the different ties that NDSU had to go through when they're talking about film and trying to prepare for this game. There's a lot of places that these coaches have came from.
But Phillips was a high school administrator from 08 to 15. Then he was at Bowling Green before that. His ties with Coach Tressel at Ohio State as a graduate assistant. As the handoff goes to McLaughlin, and he runs into some green and gold, and McLaughlin goes down for a loss of 2. It is obvious to me anyway that at least recently Youngstown's trying to find something on the left side of the offensive line, and there really isn't much there.
It sure seems like, and this just looks like I think this is just a zone running play over to the left. Nothing fancy about it. NDSU rolls another safety down into the box. They got an 8-man box, and you think they're starting to catch on that Youngstown's trying to establish the run. I think the Bison are well aware that is what they were trying to do.
We should say, though, that big number 77, Dan Baker, you see him on the left side. He's the left tackle. Another reason they're running left. He's got 21 starts. The other 4 guys have 0. Second down and 12. And the ball is bounced up and incomplete on a slant to the near side, trying to hit Moj.
That almost looked like another touchdown, didn't it? Jasir looks like, I love it. He's sitting back in zone. He's got zone eyes on the quarterback. You see him pulls the trigger, and he's trying to make a play on the ball. And kind of looks like at this point he's going to get one at some point this game.
I want you to follow up a little bit about the eyes. You said it there. Quarterbacks influence defensive, especially linebackers and D-backs, by their eyes. If you lock in early, you're giving the play away, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you love about a young quarterback or an inexperienced quarterback. Sometimes they tell you exactly where they're going to throw it. More experience, sometimes they'll look you off, and it makes it a little bit harder.
Let's see what Craycraft does here. He rolls to the near side, has 3 receivers in the formation. This will be long out of bounds, so no chance at all. Trying to hit Coates, I think, was the deep man of that route tree, and it is a 4th down situation, 4th and 12 for Youngstown.
Well, they roll him out. They kind of gave him a deep, a middle, and a short, shallow option. There just wasn't a lot there. I mean, either way, it was going to be a tough throw at the sideline. And once again, NDSU defense does a good job of holding.
Braylon Henderson is back deep to receive this punt. Looks like Lynch is back, so they're alternating punters, or giving more than one punter an opportunity today. This is audition time, really, for Youngstown State. Kind of a low line drive one. Henderson takes it at about his own 21, has the near sideline up to the 40, and Braylon Henderson is back near midfield on a very nice return for North Dakota State. The Bison will have the ball with 6:25 to go in the first half and an 11-point lead. We'll be right back. Gate City Bank is proud to support NDSU Athletics. Show your Bison pride today with a free NDSU debit card from Gate City Bank. Visit gatecity.bank/mycard or visit one of our convenient locations to get yours. Go Bison, Gate City Bank. For a better way of life, member FDIC. On a first down play, here's the shot we were looking for, deep to Christian Watson. And here comes the flag. What do you think Kyle and I were talking about during the commercial?
Yeah, I was just going to say, in the break we talked about it. Look, they're going to line them up out there one-on-one, and NDSU kind of gets in that I formation. You have to be able to respect the run. And I'm throwing it to Christian Watson every time.
Defense, number 21. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. An automatic. First down.
Pretty obvious pass interference there. But like I said, yeah, if you're Zeb Nolan, that's got to be your safety blanket right there, right? Christian Watson, I think the best player on your offense. If you get him one-on-one, especially in this fringe area like we talked about earlier, why not take a shot to him? Hopefully worst-case scenario, incomplete pass, or you get pass interference or touchdown.
Yeah, Kean Martin on the coverage there, a freshman. Here comes a first down play. Nolan looking for a screen on the backside, and he has it to Gindorf, who is corralled right there, a loss of about 2. Noah Gindorf, the first 5 catches in his Bison career were all touchdowns.
And what was I don't know what Babbich's numbers, but his had to be up there too. I mean, it seemed like, we do know Tyler Roll is the tight ends coach, right? Maybe, I don't think he's shown any bias, but those guys are talented. And it seemed like last year all they did was catch touchdowns. Or I should say 2019.
Yeah. The play from Babbage I'll remember most is the 88-yarder, which is the second longest play from scrimmage in Bison history. An 88-yarder he had against Western Illinois, I believe it was. Handoff on 2nd and 12. First chance for the redshirt freshman, Jalen Bussey. Jalen, not a big guy. They list him at 161 pounds. He's 5'5". Obviously has very good quicks.
Yes, he does. And I remember being introduced to him last year. I forget which game it was, but I feel like he burst onto the scene as well. And there's some depth at running back. Obviously, losing Seth Wilson early on in this game hurts NDSU. I think he was their most consistent kind of staple for a running back. But they definitely have other guys back there that can get the job done.
3rd and long for Nolan and the Bison offense, working on an 11-point lead. We're under the 5-minute mark of the first half. Nolan looking left, and he's going to almost force that way Watson's way, even though Christian, it seemed like he did not get a very clean release.
Yeah, man-to-man across the board for Youngstown State. Looked like they had a safety deep, and they're just kind of, I think they're going to kind of challenge Zeb a little bit with some man-to-man coverage, try and play tight, and it worked out for them there.
Just to follow up on that point about Bussey, that game was Western Illinois when he had the 160 all-purpose yards. He had that long kickoff return. He had a 45-yard run in that game. Trying to pin the Penguins deep, angled to the right side. This will be inside the 10-yard line and right there at the 5. Let's pause for a quick message from Tobolt Seed.
Tobolt Seed, family owned and operated for over 90 years. How do you stay in business that long? Hard work and integrity. Tobolt Seed offers Thunder Seed Enlist soybeans, Roundup Ready to Extend soybeans, Liberty Link GT27 soybeans, and Thunder Seed corn.
Well, it's pretty obvious that the offense has struggled. Craycraft coming out here, just 32 total yards in the game so far, and now you start at your own 5.
Well, and Garrett Wagner's been doing a really good job of pinning them deep. And, yeah, like you said, when you're struggling offensively, the last thing you want is to be pinned back in your own 5-yard line.
Handoff, little space, about a gain of 4. The senior, London Pearson, got the carry. He's already graduated, so in his 5th year in the program. There are a lot of transfers and a bunch of new players. This Penguin team, believe it or not, returns just 25 players who saw action at the end of 2019. So that's how new.
Yeah, that's not starters. That's just anyone who's even played in a game. Only 25, which is kind of a crazy stat. Only 6 returning starters, 2 on the offense.
So gain of 4 by Pearson makes it 2nd and 6 here for the Penguins. Another handoff to the senior, and Cox comes up, squares him up, and then gets some help.
This is a really good play by Jasir Cox. He's having a good start to this ball game, isn't he? I mean, that might be his first tackle, but he's almost had 2 interceptions. He does a really good job there of just setting the edge of a defense. You hear people talk about that a lot. If you have no edge to a defense, it's pretty hard to play successful defense. He does a really good job of kind of bouncing inside and then coming back out. Well, making a really good tackle.
Jasir knows how to win. He played on 4 straight Class 4A state championships in high school.
Yeah, and you saw him get Natavius Payne there a little bit, gave him a little shake to the inside, comes back outside, makes a play.
3rd and short for Youngstown State. A big pileup on the right side. He needed to cross the 10, and I don't think it happened.
I don't think he did either.
Nope, short. So the Bison defense holds.
Almost half the punt, right?
I would think so, because you're only a length of a football away. But you're down by 11. You're still in the game. And if you don't make it, well, here, all right, get out the dice, Mr. Phillips.
Right. I think
here comes the punt team. Yep. Oh, that was going to be so fun to watch a 4th down and 1 from your shadow of your own goal line, but we're not going to see it.
I love the aggressive mindset, but I do think you have to be smart. And like you said, they're only down 11. I know it feels like NDSU's dominating this game, which they are, but they're only down 2 scores. If you don't get this, you get set NDSU really well.
There's a timeout as as the indecision, if you want to call it that, from Coach Phillips took too long. So the play clock was winding down, and the Penguins take the timeout. Obviously, if you're new, this is not the best scenario for Youngstown State to start with all this newness against the defending national champions. But the schedule doesn't get easy yet for Youngstown. At home next week against UNI, one of the teams we think will be the best. Home again against Southern, and then they have to go to Brookings. So the schedule, in terms of teams we think are good in the conference, front-loaded against Youngstown State.
Yeah, that's tough sledding for the Penguins for sure. I think if there is any positive of that, you look at, like, they're kind of using this spring, I think, just almost as, like you said, an audition for the fall. Like, hey, we get the chance to play some football at least. Let's go out there, let's see what we got, and let's try and get better.
Well, no chance for Price to return this one. It's getting a Penguin hop, clock down to about 2:10, and it'll be from the Bison 32-yard line. Make it the 31 for NDSU. Hey, Ryan Gellner has a First International Bank sideline report for us. Ryan?
Hi, guys. Just an update from the Missouri Valley scoreboard. Of course, this is a Sunday, so no other games in the league today, but let's look back at the last couple of days. Of course, South Dakota State with a nice win against Northern Iowa. All defense for South Dakota State. They win it 24-20. North Dakota welcomes to the league with a huge win over Southern Illinois. That was up in Grand Forks, 44-21. The Fighting Hawks win. The Bison, they travel to Southern next week. And then, of course, in the flexible schedule, South Dakota and Western, they were canceled the first week. They will play that in the alternate week at the end of the season. Guys?
It's a handoff for the Bison, breaking one tackle, but not two. Gain of maybe two here for North Dakota State on that first down play. It's Kobe Johnson.
See a little bit of a
little
up-tempo
quick.
here.
Some coaches call it NASCAR if you're into racing. Speed it up, speed it up. Nolan looking left. Has to backpedal a bit, and then he throws it away. Hoping Cole Jacob could get open, but he was covered fairly well. Freshman on the coverage once again.
Yeah, good job by Youngstown State coming out defensively. NDSU shows a little tempo. Sometimes as a defense that speeds everything up. As a defense, you like to know. You guys like to get lined up. You like to know your job, your responsibility. Sometimes when they come up quick, that can throw some things off. Even able to get a line stun up front and some good pressure. Force Nolan into a tough throw.
3rd down and 8. Only rushing 3. Nolan with a lot of time, looking for a deep out. Incomplete.
I like the throw. I think that was what we would call a 7 route. Basically go up the field and then break it to the sideline. It looks like he had a buzz play underneath or a flat player. They had to fit it over the top, and it was just a little bit too high.
So Wagner comes back on to attempt another punt. Zeb Nolan, by the way, 6 of 13 for 53 yards. Coates back to receive this punt. Low line driver. Does it give him a hop? He'll take it at the 21. And in on the play, Destin Talbot.
Well, NDSU's even winning the special teams battle. I know Youngstown's done a good job a couple times getting some punts to switch field position, but even, you talked about their returner and his ability for Destin Talbot. That's a big play. I got to give some shout outs to the special teamers. That was a little bit of my job this last year, so I understand. I understand what they mean to a team and how important they can be in winning a ball game.
I will say one of the things that was fun to watch, every once in a while we had an ISO camera on you on kickoffs. That was fun.
Those are back in my younger days, Lee.
Yeah, you were younger then, and so was I.
I was a little more reckless back then, too.
It'll be a keeper, but nothing there. The Bison had it sniffed out.
Is that Jaden Price coming in to play a good play from corner?
Yeah, Price was there, and I think he had a little help there from number 95, Brendan Cook, as well, the defensive end.
There's nothing better than a corner willing to come in and and mix things up in the run. Those guys are out there. They get paid, so to speak, to cover people. They don't always want to come in on the run, but when you have a corner that's willing, trust me, it makes your defense that much better. They have to set the edge of the defense sometimes, and when they're willing to do it, it makes things that much easier.
Well, the simple way here at NDSU, I guess, if you don't tackle, if you're a corner, you're not going to play.
Exactly.
Here's a handoff to Turner. Nothing there once again.
Yeah, that was probably more my NFL days talking right there, Lee, because some of those guys don't always love to do it. At NDSU, it really wasn't a conversation like you talked about.
I don't know. The way the approach here for Youngstown, I doubt that the Penguins may even try to get another play off here. We're 20 seconds away from halftime, and it does not appear like that is a big priority here for Youngstown State.
Yeah, I'd be very content going into halftime down 11-0. The way this ball game is gone, you can go into halftime and say, hey, we're down 2 scores. That's a major victory for the Penguins.
So the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard at halftime is NDSU 11, Youngstown State 0. Up next, our Proceed halftime report, but we won't go away until we get a chance to hear from the head coach of the Bison, Matt Entz. Matt's first year, all he did was win every game, become the first team since 1850 whatever, or 1890 whatever it was, to go 16-0. It looks like Ryan Gellner is in position. If we're ready, we will go down to the field and hear from Coach Entz.
Matt, let's start on the defensive side. Really, really good defense. He gave up just 1 first down.
Doing a good job. You know, Coach Braun's changing it up on them a little bit. We brought some pressure. We played some big zone. We played a little bit of man. I think there's some things that we can continue to adjust as we kind of see who they are. You know, this is the first time we've seen them offensively as themselves. We've been just kind of speculating, so this has been good for us.
How about the take on your offense? Offensively, pretty balanced.
Extremely balanced. That's what we wanted to do. We didn't know what they were going to do. They've shown some 4 down, a little bit more 3 down of late. I'd like to see us a little more efficient on early downs. We're too many second longs, third long scenarios. We need to be able to. I like our run game when we get it going. You know, we can gain 4 or 5, and hopefully those turn into 10 or 12 later in the game.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Lee, back upstairs.
Thanks, Ryan and Coach Entz. Stay tuned for the Proceed halftime report. The Bison defense pitching the shutout. Zeb Nolan in the offense has 11 points on the board. We'll be right back to the Fargo Dome after you see this. Youngstown State here as we start the third quarter, 11-0. Jake Reinholtz will kick it off. Christian Turner and Jaleel McLaughlin are the 2 deep for the Penguins. And this is a returnable kick for McLaughlin, who had a ton of all-purpose yards as a Division II athlete. Gets up to the 19. Ball squirted out. The Bison say they have it. Was he down? I believe the answer to that is yes. The Bison still say they have it. I haven't heard. Let's see what Mr. Adams has to say. Well, he said something, but he said down and pointed Youngstown State's way.
Well, his ref he's talking to right now just said that it was Bison ball. This ball
is down.
He's down. Yeah, I would say he's down.
The elbow hit the turf, and it looked like it popped out from there. So McLaughlin does not turn it over here. He led all of Division II.
The previous play is under review. Ruling on the field with the ball carrier was down prior to the fumble coming out.
I don't think anyone knows what's going on here. Leah, NDSU offense is running out on the field. One ref saying it's Penguin ball, one's saying Bison ball. We'll get it figured out here.
And we'll let Clive Townsend and his crew look at the replays. Here's what I thought was elbow first, play is over.
Yep, I would agree with you. I think
sure looks like Penguins ball.
It's going to stay Penguin ball or go back to the whatever they ruled.
I guess stay, wouldn't it?
Yep, I think stay. Yep, here comes the NDSU defense. And that, I mean, through Youngstown State, you just avoided a disaster right there. I mean, that is not a way. I talked about it earlier. Special teams play really turned this game the last time these 2 teams met. It was a punt return. This is still a ball game. This is a 2-score game, so that would have been spelled disaster for the Penguins.
That was Wanye Tillman, I think, was the first guy who, number 34, who kind of makes the tackle. Yeah, Tillman right there. Redshirt freshman from Cannon Falls, Minnesota. Or no, excuse me, he's from Orlando, Florida. Right below Hofstad, who's from Cannon Falls, Minnesota.
Notice all the green and yellow. Get up, start pointing. Sometimes you got to trick those referees a little bit. Sometimes you got to help them out on their job. Hey, we got the ball. We got the ball. They fooled one of them, but as we said, this looks like it's going to stay with the Penguins.
Well, there's the disaster.
After further review, the ruling on the field of Youngstown's State's ball is confirmed, 1st and 10.
They could have just asked us. It would have been a lot faster, right?
Why don't they just toss it up here?
Because that's one job I never want to have. In fact, I told Bison once a long time ago that if in my retirement you ever hear me say that, you know what, I want to be a booth replay official, he has a free rein to punch me right in the face.
We should be concerned about you at
yes,
that point?
Do not do that. Tough job, someone has to do it.
That's right.
But Joe Craycraft, whose offense managed just 41 total yards in the first half, will try to see if the Penguins could get something going here. He'll drop back to pass, looking single receiver side, throws it behind the intended target.
Well, he had a man open on this side. Looked like number 3 there, Natavius Payne again. Kind of had an in and out thing going on there. He had him open over the middle, but he decided to go to the single top side. And is that yet almost another interception?
Well, it was thrown closer to Josh Hayes than the receiver. Josh has a couple of career interceptions. One thing about Josh I thought was so interesting, remember his first career start? National championship game against JMU.
Right? Yep. What a way. Well, be welcomed into college football.
2nd and 10, and we have a handoff, and nothing going here. Tell you, with nothing going on the field, let's go to the sideline and see what's going on with Ryan Gellner in this First International Sideline Report.
Hey guys, it is a First International Bank Sideline Report. I had the chance to talk to head coach Doug Phillips from Youngstown State. He told the kids before this game they've got to be in a position to have a shot at halftime. Down 2 scores, they feel like they have that shot. He said the offense has to play better. They will stick with 2 quarterbacks, and he feels like if they can just loosen up, they'll be able to move the ball on offense. Guys, we'll see.
1 back, 2 receivers on each side of the formation for the quarterback, Joe Craycraft, on a 3rd and 10. Bison pressure a little bit up the middle. That one's caught and completed by Josh Burgett, one of the big tight ends, 6'5", 250, gets the first down.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about their tight ends either. And they have some really good ones you see on the Nodak Insurance Company replay. They got some big tight ends, and there's some Iowa State influence. If you've watched any Iowa State, they have 3 tight ends. Coach David Braun was a little bit worried about how they were going to use them. Maybe they come out in 13 personnel, then they spread them out. Now you have tight ends on smaller DBs. We haven't seen a lot of that, obviously, with I think that was about the 2nd or 3rd completion we've seen today from the Penguins.
Just the 2nd out of 6 attempts, but it was enough for the first down on that 3rd and 10. So it's a fresh set of downs as coach goes into mini motion, if you want to call it that. Looking over the middle and complete on the slant, breaking 1 tackle. I think that's Turner. Turner, a good receiver, in each of the last 3 years has 21 or more receptions. So if you're going to look for a running back, that's the man that the Penguins have gone to.
Trust me, that's one of the hardest routes to cover. James Kaiser trying to cover that. That's call it the angle route from the running back coming out of the backfield. You just never know. He could break outside. Now that's an easy throw. They come over across the middle. It makes it an even easier throw for the quarterback. Yeah, I kind of had this sense like this. Youngstown State gets 1 first down. Can they get something rolling? Now they got 2 in a row here.
Fake to Pearson, looking to go deep. And I'm not sure who that was to be totally honest, as Coates was on the inside.
Not either, but I think NDSU got away with a little bit of a hold there. Either way.
And that's Payne. Here's the hold you were talking about, Nodak Insurance Company replay.
Yeah. Gets beat a little bit.
Number 10 on number 10. That's Dom Jones
actually
on the coverage.
Wasn't as bad on the replay live. It looked a little bit worse.
Grant Olson said he thinks that Dom Jones's performance has ticked up a little bit now that he's in that starting role for Dawson Weber, who's rehabbing a shoulder. Second down and 10. Back over the middle. Wide open player. That's Burkett again and another first down. So the Penguins are finding a little something with their big tight ends.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication or what, but there was absolutely no one in the middle of the field for NDSU. You can see Jackson Hankey looks like he's coming on a blitz. I'm not sure where the confusion was there, but.
Well, it looked like Hankey started to go on the blitz. Saw number 26.
Right.
Also doing the same thing. 2 linebackers, same spot. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, it's one of those. Wait, I was supposed to. No, you were supposed to. Oh.
Uh-oh.
And then they're open over the middle.
Well, Craycraft trying to get into a little bit of a rhythm. He pitches it to McLaughlin. Nothing happening outside as Josh Hayes. You talked about corners being willing to tackle.
Yep.
That young man is willing to do the job.
Absolutely, and they've played really well on both sides of the ball. NDSU continues, as you're going to see on the Nodak Insurance Company replay, NDSU continues to play really well on the edge. And a lot of times you're going to leave the corner unblocked, right? That's the last guy you're worried about in the run. You're trying to get something up in the middle, but when there is nothing in the middle, sometimes that's exactly who you feed the ball to. And you talk about the run fits. That's where the run fit is for the corner. Josh Hayes does a good job of making the play.
Yeah, it's one of the principles of just a base Tampa 2. Your corners must tackle.
Absolutely.
So no gain on the play. Well, lost about a yard. That throw was to nobody, as Mose was the closest one to it, but it looked like he was blocking more than anything else.
Yeah, and you saw some good pressure there from NDSU. I believe they only brought 4. I think that was Logan McCormick up top working his tackle.
I think you see a good point there. Craycraft was back talking to McLaughlin. Now, McLaughlin's new to the system. He transferred in from Notre Dame College, and so he's trying to teach his young guy. And Bob Hannon, the play-by-play man for Youngstown, said he thinks that McLaughlin will end up being the #1 running back once he learns the system.
Well, it certainly looks like that way. I mean, he's gotten the bulk of the carry so far.
3rd down and 10. Here comes the Bison on a blitz. Back over the middle. Incomplete. Coates is saying I was held. Incomplete. No flags.
NDSU showing single high. I think that was man underneath. The Kaiser again. He might have I got away with a little bit.
That was Tutsi who rolled down.
Tutsi, you're right.
That was Michael Tutsi, number 25, the strong safety, rolled down. That's a preseason All-American.
Letting him play a little bit here today.
Good.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it.
Says a couple of former defensive players to each other.
Offense gets away with enough, you know.
They do. Looks like Henderson is back deep. Trying to angle away from Brain a little bit. He'll get a chance. No, he'll make the fair catch right at the 11. Well, you can't say, I mean, it's obviously no points, but you can't say it was a poor possession from Youngstown given what didn't happen in the first half.
Oh, I was just going to say, Lee, I mean, granted, they didn't get any points, but they finally got some momentum. Finally, they got something working for them. And more importantly, they flipped the field. I mean, compared to what they were, looking at if that kickoff return fumble held up. Now at least they put the Bison back deep. Now they're going to force them to go a long way.
Kobe Johnson is the tailback. He has Brosio, the fullback, in front of him in the traditional I formation. Little toss to Johnson. He squirts free. This man has speed. Kobe Johnson tries to cut back to the near side. He's at the 50. And Johnson takes it all the way out to about the 35-yard line. So much for that field possession.
Yeah, there it goes. Just like that on one play. You can pin them deep, but you still have to play defensively. And NDSU does a really good job. I think this is 13 per, so they only got 1 receiver. They're not, they're not trying to hide anything from you. They say, hey, we're going to line up. We got 1 receiver outside, and we're going to see if you can stop us. Kobe Johnson off to the races. He is a little bit more of the home run hitter, as we just saw right there on that run.
Well, Youngstown State fans know all about Kobe Johnson. In the same game against Youngstown, he had that long kickoff followed by that long rushing touchdown of a 75-yarder, so he's a big play back. Straight up the gut, defended well.
They said 13 per, so they're actually just lining up in 22 per, so 2 backs, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver up top. And you'll see NDSU sometimes they find success running the ball. I forget what the word is they use for it, but you'll see them start motioning. They're just going to keep running it right at you until you prove that you can stop it.
I mean, a handful of years ago, all those runs were just A-gap powers, but now it's a little bit more zone schemes and a few different looks from that Bison offensive line.
There's so much they do, and I love when Coach Ince took over. He said, look, we're going to add some new wrinkles, but we still want to look like NDSU.
Nolan's going to roll and throw on one of the trail guys. That was Josh Babbage. Babbage close to the first down marker, and we'll see if he got it or not after we say this. Expenses piling up this semester, whether it's a new laptop, college books, or a much-deserved winter getaway trip. Turn to Gate City Bank for a personal home loan with low rates. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Well, they marked the tight end a yard short. Zone, good push. First down. When you can get a couple of on kind of a zone blocking scheme and nobody penetrates the gap initially and you only need 1 yard, you're going to get that first down every time.
Yeah, absolutely. They just there was nothing fancy about that run. We're just going to double team at the point of attack. If we can climb, we'll climb. You can see right there. A lot of times double teams, you're not trying to just stay on that guy forever, but in that situation, 3rd and 1, we're just going to stay on this guy. We're going to smash everything up in there. And if you can't get in the backfield at all, we're going to get that yard we need.
Yeah, running behind Sundell and Zach Kubis for that first down. Nolan's going backside. Incomplete, trying to get Bussey on a wheel.
He had Yankee, it looked like, right over the middle. That just might be, I know this is still his first start, at least as a Bison. But seeing the whole field, not just always going to your first option right there. But I like that they are opening it up a little bit and giving Zeb, the chance to throw it downfield and open up this defense a little bit.
That look that Yankee had were ones that, as the Bison pick up, they're going to get a touchdown out of this one. Here it is, the score, Jalen Bussey. Bussey with a touchdown, second touchdown for the Bison. They also have a field goal and a 2-point conversion as NDSU goes up 17-0. That is touchdown number 1 for Jalen Bussey in his Bison career, the redshirt freshman from Brandon, Florida. He averaged 9.6 yards a carry in high school. He about doubled it there for the score. Reinholtz adds the PAT. And the Bison lead at 18-0. So your Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. NDSU 18. The defense still pitching the shutout. We'll be right back to the Fargo Dome after this. Athletics. Shields is your Bison headquarters. Shop the exclusive Coaches collection in-store and online at shields.com. Jalen Bussey, 22-yard touchdown run, his first as a Bison, and the kick makes it an 18-point lead for NDSU. 8:29 to go in our third quarter. And a fair catch will be called. So the Penguins will come out on offense when we come back. The Bison defense still pitching a shutout. Four of those from Kobe Johnson, the last 22 from number 21.
Yeah, it was just a down, pull his front side guard, and someone on Youngstown State missed, and we just missed a big hit there. Go figure, Jasir Cox.
We saw it, Jasir Cox cutting down one of those big tight ends, Andrew Ogletree, who transferred from Findlay.
Jasir is playing fast. I think that's what I would say about him so far in that first half. I thought he played really well against the run, against the pass. You saw it there again. He looks like he's just playing free. He's going out there and he's playing football, which is a big part of being a player. Not letting things get too messy in your mind and just going out there and playing and have fun. And that looks like what he's doing right now. He's making a lot of plays.
Just a gain of 1 on that nice tackle from Cox. It'll be a quarterback run from Wade as he's in there now, trying to get a push toward that first down marker. Both teams in a scrum, and I think it worked. Pickup of 9 and a first down.
Kind of the first time we've seen a successful run out of Wade. We talked about the 2-quarterback system a lot. I know he's been in there some, but it doesn't seem like he's been able to do much. He is the better athlete of the two that we've talked about between him and Craycraft. Nice run there to get something going. Now this is the second drive in a row we've seen Youngstown State get a first down, which there was not a lot of those in the first half.
Yeah, Wade had a 27-yard touchdown run the last time these two teams met. He is a redshirt freshman from Girard, Ohio. There's Craycraft looking on from the sideline on the 1st and 10 play here for the Penguins. McLaughlin, or is that Pierce? Nope, that's Pearson on the outside. Let's go back down to the sideline to Ryan. Ryan?
Hey guys, a First International Bank and Trust sideline report. An interesting assistant coach for Youngstown State. Bison fans that also follow the Minnesota Vikings will know this name, Mike Tomczak, who played quarterback for the Chicago Bears, the Packers, the Browns, the Steelers. He's a quarterback consultant and an advisor to the head coach at Youngstown State. He works with the quarterbacks. He works on them staying in the moment. Really said he'd worked with this group of quarterbacks about getting on to the next play. If something bad happens, you just have to get on to the next play. But Mike Tomczak, the quarterback consultant, advisor to the head coach, you might know him, guys. He was in that 1985 Super Bowl Shuffle video. Guys?
There's not a pretty pass, but it might have been an effective pass. Was it caught by Payne? Even if it wasn't, there's going to be a flag on the play. I think he did catch it.
I think he did too. Bison brought some pressure there, and usually when that happens, not a lot of help across the field. Sometimes those, I know the quarterbacks rarely do it on purpose. You throw up a little bit of a duck behind the guy. The defender doesn't get his head around to see it. That's usually the result. It's hard as a defender to kind of see that.
Defense, number 6. That penalty declined. Result of play. First down.
You declined a penalty, which obviously means it was a catch.
It's a really nice catch against a guy playing really well for NSU, Jasir Cox.
Well, the guy who never passes it passed it, so that's one thing that's a little bit different wrinkle.
And it wasn't the prettiest, but it was effective, and I think that's important. You can't just run when you bring in the running quarterback. You can't just run. You got to keep the defense on your toes a little bit.
And before the snap, the play stops at 6:03 on the
previous
clock.
play is under review. Ruling on the field was a completed catch.
All right, so now we'll sort this out as they want to take another look at the catch. It's going to be a first down anyway because there was a penalty on the play. So if this is ruled not a catch, then you will go back, mark off the penalty and get the first down that way. But if you're Youngstown, obviously you want it to be a catch because you're going to get about, what, 20-some yards more?
Exactly. And, you know, look at this game, Lee, and I think a big part of coaching, especially in a game like this, is adjustments. And I think both teams really have done a good job. Youngstown State obviously moving the ball a little bit, as we see Mark Wade's throw here. Not the prettiest, but like I said, effective. I can't tell from that.
No,
from that if that was a catch or not. But
this will be a better look, I think, because the ball was. He reaches out for the ball. Still can't tell by that one, so I think he caught it anyway. But we don't bring and set up all these cameras for nothing.
Right.
That's for these, so replay officials and you at home can look at it. It still looked clean.
Yeah, you at home can make the call there, but I think I would agree with you. That looks like a catch to me. But let's talk about adjustments, and let's get the call here.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a completed catch stands as called. 1st and 10.
So Natavius Payne makes the catch. He sat out last year. He's a sophomore. Coach Phillips and his Penguins, the fewest returning starters in the Valley Conference. So they're learning a lot today.
That they are. And in a game like this, when you are in the underdog, you just want to see what you can get from guys. And you want to see guys go out and compete.
Here comes Wade. Quarterback run. Well, a lot of guys making their first start. When was your first start, and what do you remember from it?
Ooh, I remember the game. I'm trying to think who we played. But I do remember I had a sack. I remember being so nervous. I remember Coach Bull pulling me inside. I do remember I had a sack in that first game.
This will be a penalty as the Bison could not get players off the field. Costner Ching trying to come off.
Timeout. North Dakota State.
Okay.
They're first. This will be 30 seconds in length.
So there, Coach Entz used the timeout. Continue on with your story, young man.
Yeah, I just remember being extremely nervous for that game. Obviously, I'd sit down for a while, and Coach Bull pulled me aside, and you know, it turned out all right, and that season turned out all right.
All right, we're going to take a break with this timeout. We'll be right back. Want to pay off student loans faster? Gate City Bank's Better Life Student Loan Program has no fees and a low fixed interest rate to help you put your hard-earned money where it matters most. Join other Gate City Bank homeowners who have saved over $20 million in student loan interest. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Incomplete.
That's a good ball there from Wade, and sometimes you just need some help from your wide receiver. Had the flat defender. Yeah, you see in the Nodak Insurance Company replay. I'm not sure who it was, but we had a Bison flat defender. I think that's Destin Talbert. Fits it over the top of him, but Payne unable to make the catch.
Well, the incompletion makes it 3rd and 6 at the Bison 30. The Penguins have not been this deep in the Bison territory very often today. We got just under 5.5 minutes left of the third. On a scramble, here comes Wade, and he's short of the first down. Go for it here.
Have to. We talked about risk earlier and whether they should go for it, and they're deep in their own territory here. I don't think the Penguins kicking field goals at this point in the game is going to win. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
I know Bison defensive coordinator David Braun kind of said that Wade, in terms when he drops back, he's a one look and then run type of a passer. And the look wasn't there.
Yeah, and they caught NDSU a little bit of a match zone, it looked like, so not everyone with eyes on the quarterback gave him a little bit of room to scramble, but unable to pick up the first down.
Empty setup, meaning no running backs back there with the sophomore or the redshirt freshman quarterback Wade. He will run for it, needs a yard, and he got it. Jackson Hankey on the tackle, but all 220 pounds of Wade picks up the first.
Yeah, that's the old faithful when you get a running quarterback and you empty it out. You empty out the defense, spread them out, make them think pass. Even when it's almost when you know it's a quarterback that runs the ball, you still have to know your cover responsibilities. Sometimes can mix you up a little bit in your thinking, and they run the old quarterback power, the plus one run game, able to pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage at 23. And a flag.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it's the center, Mike McAllister, junior from Pittsburgh, which is local for Youngstown. If you haven't been into that part of the country, Pittsburgh is not far from Youngstown, Ohio.
I think these young guys are glad that the Fargo Dome's only at half capacity today.
Yes.
I would say so.
And I know another thing, too, that one of the guys I was talking with Youngstown said, one of the first things he said, we're real happy that Trey Lance is going to the NFL.
I wonder why.
Well, you mark off 5 and make it 1st and 15. A little bit of a high snap handoff. McLaughlin nowhere to go but down as Spencer Wagee comes in there deep in the backfield. And the Penguins are going backwards.
Well, I believe this is a read play because they don't block Wagee at all, but they turn the opposite way. I'm not sure what's going on there. Normally, if you're going to run a quarterback read, you turn to that guy. They turn away from him and completely cut him loose. I'm not sure if they thought maybe something would hold him up, but either way, nice play by Wagee. Sometimes the layups are the hardest ones to make. He didn't miss his.
tell you, if that's reading, if you're reading the opposite end, that is strange.
Yes, I've not seen that before, especially when you turn away from him.
Well, now it's 2nd down and 18. Wade will go to the left and pitch it back to one of the tight ends, Benio, Jake Benio, the sophomore, down to about the 20. A couple of the tight ends go out. A couple wide receivers come in.
And they're continuing to stay with Wade this entire drive. They feel like, I think they've kind of found something with him a little bit. Maybe he's getting a little bit more comfortable throwing the ball as well.
Here's the 3rd down play from the Penguins. Handoff up the middle, and it is Pearson on the run down to about the 15. 4th down is coming, but let's pause for a quick message from Bank of North Dakota.
We encourage you to keep education expenses and student loan debt down. One way to do this is by earning college credit by taking dual credit or AP classes in high school.
YSU has picked up 1 4th down. Here's their 2nd 4th down opportunity of this drive from the Bison 15-yard line. Need about 2 yards. Wade's going to pass for it, and it's caught. 1st down to the 11.
And I like the aggressive play. I mean, I know you're down 3 scores at this point. You probably need a field goal. But, hey, like I said, field goals aren't going to probably beat you.
You know, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Benio might be looking to maybe pitch it if he gets a free release, because Pearson was coming on the far sideline, but it is like a 1st and 10.
Yeah, it seems like it's touchdown or bust on this drive for the Penguins.
Penguins are still scoreless. Wade on a quarterback run. The run down from behind once again. The Bison were there, and I think it's Tucker.
Even if NDSU does give up points at this point, as we look at the Nodak Insurance Company replay,
we're only
Lane Tucker doing a really good job busting through the line and making a TFL. But even if you do give up points, there's only a quarter left. Yeah. Do you really trust, that Penguin offense to put up some explosive plays? They've yet to do it. So even if you are going to give up points at this point, it seems like, all right, we're just going to make you go the long, hard way, and hopefully we get into this 4th quarter before you even put any points up on the board.
Could be last play of the 3rd quarter. Wade's looking for the end zone to Payne. Knocked away by the Bison. Nice defensive play.
How good is that by Destin Talbot? Gets his eyes around. We talked about that earlier. Sometimes DB's hard to get your eyes around. He gets his eyes around, makes a good play on the football to keep 6 off the board.
Well, the incompletion means we'll have more plays in our 3rd quarter, but yes, indeed, Destin Talbot making the defensive stop.
Slightly worse throw, and that's probably going the other way for the Bison.
Destin, the junior from Darien, Illinois. 6 foot, 185 pounds. Playing in his 29th collegiate football game for North Dakota State, and a timeout taken now.
Charge timeout. Youngstown State.
For the Penguins.
First of the half. This will be 30 seconds in length.
So if they don't get this touchdown or 1st down here, you got to go for it again, right?
I would think so.
At this point, like I said, it seems like they're saying we need a touchdown at this point of the game. And, I mean, a field goal does theoretically help you, right? You're down more than 2 touchdowns. You can get 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. Now you're at 16. Field goal makes it 19.
But one of the things even in this drive, which has been a good drive for Youngstown, but when the biggest area of concern coming into this spring season, the offensive line.
Right.
Okay, we've seen Wadey running from the backside, Tucker running from the backside. So they have issues up front, despite moving the ball down to the 12-yard line at this point. But
you're 100% right. They haven't even really given this NDSU defensive line a lot of chances to rush the passer. We've been seeing a lot of tight ends motioning across play action. There's not a whole lot of drop back pass. And to be honest, I don't blame him, but as a defensive lineman, that gets frustrating. Sometimes you just want to pin your ears back go try and get that quarterback.
Said like a true defensive rush end in college. This is third down. It's third and long, but it's as deep as the Penguins have been today in Bison territory. Wade flushed a little bit over the middle. Touchdown. Is that Coates? Yes, it is. The Penguins have 6 points. Jake Coates has been so good in special teams for Youngstown over the years. Here, the senior from Warren, Ohio, picks up his first receiving touchdown.
And it looked like a little bit of a 2-3 combination. NDSU was passing it off. I think that was Jasir Cox. Just didn't bring it back far enough, and Wade makes a good throw. And the Penguins, that's exactly what you needed. Now you're right back in this ball game.
PAT is G-O-O-D. 7 points now for Youngstown. Well, that was a good drive there by the team in white.
Yeah, it was. And they, like I said, they committed to, hey, we're going to score a touchdown. We need a little bit of momentum, and I like it. A field goal, yes. Like I said, theoretically, it makes sense when you look at, you know, going by the book and the points-wise. But your team needed a little bit of a spark. This is new coordinator. Let's go get that first touchdown under our belt and then see if that can build some confidence.
Youngstown only had 1 first down in the entire first half. Here's our quarterback look here. Brought to you by the North Dakota Beef Commission, funded by beef farmers and ranchers, as we look at Zeb Nolan getting his first start here for NDSU.
Yeah, and I think he's done some good things. You knew that, you know, Tyler Rowe was going to keep things a little bit simple. It's his first game. Let's try to keep him on schedule. It obviously always helps when you're a North Dakota State quarterback to have a really good running game, and they've had that. They've had that today a lot. They haven't needed to ask Zeb to do a lot, but I think he's played pretty well. The numbers aren't, you know, outstanding by any means, but he's managed the game well so far for the Bison.
Braylon Henderson has to backpedal into the end zone, and usually when that happens, you take a knee and come on out and pick up first down, as Zeb Nolan has just 18 seconds left here in the third quarter. A lot of whistles going on down there. So was there a flag I missed?
I didn't see anything.
I didn't either. Yeah. Never just had to wait for the sideline to get the ball back in play. The flowing locks of number 70, Cody Mauck, playing right tackle. So if you notice hair, it's Cody Mauck that has it for NDSU. Nolan will hand it off to the eye back, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter. But the Penguins pick up their first points of this game on their last drive. The Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard through 3. NDSU 18, Youngstown State 7. We'll be right back. Online at shields.com. Kobe Johnson has over 100 rushing yards now, and he has the ball to start the fourth quarter for the Bison on a 2nd down and 5 play, about a yard and a half short of what is needed for the first down.
I think this is a big third down here for NDSU. Youngstown State finally gets something going on offense. They had two drives in a row where they get things going. They get a touchdown. You just don't want to let them back in the ball game if you're NDSU here, and a first down can really help switch the momentum back the Bison's way.
Bison need to get to the 35. And a timeout taken by NDSU. So obviously it was an alignment situation, not a time situation, because there were still 11 seconds to go on the play clock.
Yeah, like I said, third down. I think NDSU gets help. This is important. Obviously not the game by any means, but this is an important third down, and you want to have everyone on the same page.
Maybe one of those first game for everybody situations.
Yep, absolutely. Haven't played much football here, and still crazy to me that 2019 was the last real season these guys played a year and a half ago.
Ended in Frisco. Gate City Bank is proud to support NDSU athletics. Show your Bison pride today with a free NDSU debit card from Gate City Bank. Short of that first down.
They did it.
Visit gatecity.bank/mycard or visit one of your convenient locations to get yours. Go Bison, Gate City Bank, for a better way of life. Member FDIC.
So starting to see it a little bit on that Youngstown State sideline, right? They're feeling it. They're starting to believe after a rough start to this game. They just hung around, and now another big stop by their defense.
Joe Schaefer's defense, the defensive coordinator who came the same time Coach Phillips did. His defense holds up. And now the Penguins take a timeout on fourth down.
Something was going on over there.
Timeout. Youngstown State.
Doug Phillips,
they're second of the half.
30
This will be
yard
30
sprint
seconds
to get that timeout in.
All right, we'll head to break. They're going to make this a media timeout. Bison lead at 18-7. Ross Kennelly is the snapper. Garrett Wegner is the punter. It's Bison on fourth down and short. Low liner. Coach is hoping for a return chance. He'll pick it up at the 22. He saved yards by just grabbing it there because it was still headed toward it. If he doesn't grab, then when he's probably given up another 15.
Yeah, smart play by Coach right there. He probably saved his guys 18 yards there, 20 yards, something like that. NDSU would have been able to pin them pretty deep right there. And as we know, those hidden yards in special teams are a big factor in deciding the game.
Well, the Penguins only had one first down at halftime. They had 8 in the third quarter. Early in the fourth here.
Like I said, talked briefly about adjustments earlier, and I think they found something, at least. I don't know if it was necessarily an adjustment or they just got something rolling, but they found something that is working for them. It looks like Mark Wade is the guy they're going to stay with at quarterback.
There's the direct snap to Wade. They'll have a quarterback design run, and he was popped hard. I actually think that was Dom Jones was the first one that smacked him. But he took him off the route.
Oh, he took a shot and was able to spin out of it, somehow stayed on his feet. So we're about to see on the Nodak Insurance Company replay right here. Bam. Still shrugged him off. That's a nice job of getting just a little bit out of that. This NDSU defense coming in.
Well, there's where the DBs are just able to attack more because they know Wade's the runner. I mean, Jones is the safety. But not on that play. He's reading run and coming downhill big time. Only a pickup of 1.
You're going to roll him down in the box a little bit more when you got a running quarterback.
Wade looks to throw, swings it out to the running back on the far side. Gain of just a couple. That's McLaughlin who makes the grab.
Good one-on-one tackle there by Kaiser. I know it looks simple. That's not always the easiest. You swing it out to the running back, and it's just a little check down. But I mean, that guy, as we've seen, he's got some juice. Sometimes those turn into big plays. Good job just using the sideline as your extra defender. Push him out. No harm done. 3rd and long.
And I know on Thursday, Coach Braun said of McLaughlin, he has that explosive gear, so that guy kind of scares me a little bit.
It is interesting that were they trying to hide him a little bit? You know, they list him as 3rd on their depth chart, yet he's playing almost the entire game.
Yeah, he looks like he will be the running back as it goes. It's a 3rd and long. It's a 3rd and 8 here. As Wade drops straight back, he is flushed and he will go down. The Bison pick up a sack. Now there were 3 gold helmets around him. Pierce was one of them.
They finally got their opportunity. Like I said, here's you see on the Nodak Insurance Company replay, this is their first time, one of the first times I feel like they've gotten just a straight drop back in almost the entire D-line, led by, I think, Tony Pierce.
Yep. Tucker also close by.
Yep. How good does that number 5 look on a D-lineman? We weren't allowed to do that back in my day, Lee.
Well, what number would have you taken had you gotten to choose any number in the world?
I don't know. I probably would have just chose my high school number, been lame like that.
Fair catch. The Bison will have the ball 1st and 10, leading 18-7 when we come back. That's your Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. by the Bison are playing on a Sunday afternoon on a 1st and 10 from their own 40. Zeb Nolan surveys and connects over the middle up to about the 46. It's Cole Jacob who made the catch.
Bison fans got to love, NFL's over now. It's a Sunday afternoon. Got a little bit of an NFL feel to it, right? And it's just good. I think we all agree, just good to have NDSU football back at the Fargo Dome with some fans here.
It's like Cole took his helmet off and had to come up because, oh yeah, there was a rake. He kind of got raked away trying to get the football out of there. Was Grant Dixon, and kind of came across his face.
Well, it almost looked like at the end there too. He took a kick to the head. I don't think any ref saw that. I don't think it was intentional.
No. Pick up a 7 though. 2nd down and 3. So the Bison playbook is wide open on this particular play. What will they do? Hand it off. Kobe Johnson sidesteps and does some great footwork to pick up what is just short of 1st down yardage.
He is fun to watch, isn't he? And sometimes the play breaks down or it doesn't work, like we said earlier, perfectly. And you as a running back, as you see on this Nodak Insurance Company, look at this replay. Look at this moving the hole, break some tackles. Not the biggest guy, but also not the easiest guy to bring down. He's been doing a really good job, and they're going to lean on him because of that unfortunate situation with Seth Wilson.
Yeah, Kobe not big, but he's 180, much bigger than he was last year. This is his sophomore season, and he has matured. Every offensive person I've asked about that young man who just picked up the 1st down, the first thing out of their mouth about Kobe Johnson is he has matured a lot since his freshman year. Johnson picks up the 1st down, takes it over to the YSU 49-yard line.
I always love the fact that he wears number 24 too. For those NBA fans out there, those Kobe Bryant fans, named Kobe Bryant was number 24. I think that's why he wears it. Honestly, I don't know, but I think it's a fun little fact.
If it's not accurate, I think it's an awesome story, and we're going to go with
right.
it anyway.
Absolutely. I'm always going to go with that, yeah.
Here comes a reverse to Watson, and a lot of blockers for Christian Watson. The man with speed. Watson picks up a block, hurdles across the 20, and down to the 18-yard line.
Well, we were just saying at the break, Lee, Christian Watson, not a lot going on for him. We talked about him in the beginning, one of the best players on the offense. You've got to get him the ball somehow. Getting a little creative, as you see on the Nodak Insurance Company replay. He just comes around on this little end run. There was a lot of green grass in front of him. That is a man with some speed.
Watson picks up 30 yards on that play. He ran it 3 times in the Central Arkansas game back in the fall. Watson on the sideline now on a 1st and 10 for the Bison. Bussey, who has a touchdown, will carry it again. He gets across the 15. Now there's some merit to this too. Jalen Bussey at 5'5". He's not big, obviously, but sometimes for a defense, it's really hard to see that guy.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I've seen, especially you get behind some of these big offensive linemen, especially when the running back can be patient. If he hits a hole hard, okay, maybe you see him pop out right away, but if he's patient behind there, you start peeking, you get out of a gap. That's kind of what we've seen a couple times from Jalen already.
Bussey's in motion. He'll quarterback keep it after the fake. Nolan down to the 10. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
That play looks familiar, didn't it?
Oh yeah, we've seen that a lot. That play does not leave the playbook.
Nor should it.
Jensen ran it well. Wentz ran it well. Stick ran it well. And Trey Lance ran it exceptionally well. All those guys have played pro football too.
Yeah, we've.
Well, I guess Trey not yet, but he will.
Well, he will. Yes, he definitely will. There's been a good run of quarterbacks here at NDSU, to say the least.
Hand off to Johnson. He has the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for North Dakota State.
What a drive by this offense, right? I mean, Youngstown State had all the momentum going for him. You see Kobe Johnson squeaking through there again. And they're just going to run the ball. They're going to melt this clock down. They're going to let their defense go out there and try and get a few stops and end this game.
The Bison only ended up with 3 first downs in the third quarter. Sure looks like a power run situation. It will be no. It'll be a pass out to the flat and incomplete. Gindorf is who the intended receiver was. He was guarded fairly well, but Nolan's footwork got messed up a bit on that play too.
Yeah, I think we're going to see right here on this replay. I don't know if he got stepped on. Yeah, it looks like he got tripped up a little bit. 63 there. Kubas got him a little bit.
Jake Kubas.
Yeah.
One thing we should mention for Jake too, maybe after this play if the Bison will get it in. 2nd down and goal. There's a pitch to Bussey. No. Touchdown. NDSU, his 2nd. Jalen Bussey has 4 carries, 2 touchdowns today.
He just seems like that kind of guy, doesn't he, Lee? He's a little spark plug. You bring him in there, and he just always finds a way, it seems like, to make big plays. Finds the end zone for the 2nd time today. I think we saw this play earlier, something similar. I think it was to Kobe. It's a little toss. Kind of gets the defense thinking, oh, this might be going outside. He keeps it up inside, pull a guard, get a kick out.
And Hunter Brosio, the lead blocker, he gets an attaboy on that one. He covered his guy well. 24 points on the scoreboard right now. Bison try to make it 25. And they do. Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. North Dakota State 25, Youngstown State 7. We'll be right back. 7:10 to go in this game. College books or a much-deserved winter getaway trip. Turn to Gate City Bank for a personal loan with low rates. Gate City Bank for a better way of life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Now Reinholtz will kick it off as the Bison offense had a very nice answer to that touchdown. It's a high, short kick taken at about the 8. Up to the 25. Goes McLaughlin in a late flag. Luke Wirtz made the tackle, number 47. Luke is a sophomore.
During the return, holding. Return team number 23. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be 1st and 10, Youngstown State.
Tyjon Jones is number 23, a freshman, defensive back out there on a special teams play.
Those are some of those hidden yards I was talking about earlier, Lee. You can't. That's tough. I get it. I've played special teams, and I know it's hard to block some of those guys when they're running full speed. But a holding penalty there and to put your offense back, that's tough, especially when this point in the game they got to get something going.
It's the third series in a row, I think, for Wade at quarterback. Looking to pass, and he does. Find Ogletree, who picks up about 9 yards on the play.
And I think here we're going to start seeing some tempo here from the Penguin offense.
Looks like McLaughlin, the tailback, and he will be a quarterback keep to the near side and 1st down yardage.
Well, it certainly looks like they found something here with Mark Wade. You know, they were switching the quarterbacks mid-drive, mid-series earlier. He's done a nice job for them in this second half.
So it's a fresh set of downs for the Penguins. Wade's going to pass it to the flat and connect once again with Ogletree. On the play is Hayes, Josh Hayes. Let's go down to Ryan Gellner now. Ryan.
Hey guys, it is a First International Bank and Trust sideline report, and I am here with Athletic Director Matt Larson at North Dakota State. And Matt, it has been anything but normal for you guys, but North Dakota State Athletics has handled all of this pretty well.
No, absolutely. It's been a challenge the last 10 months for everybody, but certainly really proud of our staff and our student athletes, the way they've handled the change. You know, we're so used to structure, and the last 10 months have been anything but structure. And, you know, from student athletes getting up at 6 in the morning to test, to whatever they need to do, to adjusted schedules, to playing in the spring. And so couldn't be more proud of our staff and student athletes.
It really started in basketball. You were able to bring fans back in pretty early through basketball. I would assume from the outside looking in, it's been successful in basketball to have fans back, and today you were able to pull off about a half house.
Yeah, no, I think really pleased. I think, and a lot of credit goes to our staff. They put together a plan with the priority always being, let's try to keep people as safe as we can. That's our student athletes, our staff, and our fans, and they've done an unbelievable job. And we saw it with basketball. And at the end of the day, our fans do an unbelievable job of, hey, we want to come cheer on the Bison. Here's the things we need to do. We need to wear masks. We need to social distance. And we've seen success both at basketball and today here in the Fargo Dome.
Do you anticipate, Matt, the crowd ramping up? Do you think you'll stay at this point, or is it all depending on what the state numbers do, what the state gives you, and what the city gives you as far as allowances?
You know, right now our plan is 9,500, 50% capacity through at least the regular season, and we'll see. You know, right now the numbers in the state are really good and really, I guess, negative, not positive, but heading in the right direction. So we'll continue to monitor, but right now, at least for the regular season, we're going to stay at 50%.
Appreciate leadership, Matt, and I think, speaking on all fans, thank you for opening the doors and letting fans at least feel a little bit of normal.
No, it's great. We've been looking forward to this day for a long time. It's great to be here, so thanks, Ryan.
It's the First International Bank and Trust sideline report with the athletic director. Guys.
Thank you very much. Youngstown's offense has taken the ball into NDSU territory up to the 40.
Aided by a face mask penalty. And once again, Penguins driving a little bit.
Bison going a little bit deeper, too, at this stage of the game with some defensive linemen and such. Corner blitz. Hayes missed him. Nice job to avoid the sack by Wade just to get the ball out of there.
Yeah, Lee, you talked about the defensive line as we see them rotate once again, and that was something we talked to David Ron about, you know, and how many people he feels comfortable with. I think he said like 10 or 11 guys that they'll rotate in at D-line, which is really key to have that much depth when you can keep those guys fresh and able to still get after the passer when you get late into a game like this, and they've been on the field a lot today.
58 right there you see, that's Javier Derritt, redshirt freshman, Warrensburg, Missouri. I also saw Eli Mostart was out there for a little while, and Buteau had a play or two. Here's a third down play. Oh, not much happening here from McLaughlin. He's going backwards. He's still going backwards back to midfield right at the 50.
Oh, wow. That's one of those where it would have just been better if he got tackled by the first guy. He's able to break free a little bit and try to make something happen. Tutsi does a good job of getting him down, and now they're going to be forced to punt, it looks like.
Tutsi, one of the veterans out there. I think it's interesting, too, with Michael Tutsi, who can do it all at times. One of the things that he has to do is not try and do it all.
Right. And
don't get yourself out of position making somebody else's play.
Right. Sometimes the coaching point just needs to be do your job first before you go out and help others. And when you know so much, sometimes you have a tendency, you see someone else screw up, I'm gonna go make this right. Sometimes you do have to just do your job first and trust your teammates.
Fair catch by Jaden Price. Bison lead it 25-7. Just a tick under 4 minutes to go in our Valley Conference opener. Kobe Johnson with 114 yards rushing to this point. Jalen Bussey with 2 touchdowns. He had a 22-yarder. Zeb Nolan has only thrown it 17 times. Hasn't had to throw a lot. Connected on 8 of those for 67 yards for Coach Matt Entz.
I think Coach Entz, now you're going to bust out the 4-minute offense here. And that can look a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's just straight running the ball if it's working. Sometimes you got to throw it a little bit, but you got to do whatever you can to stay on the field as an offense and burn as much clock as possible.
Logan Hofstad throwing a lead block from his fullback position as well as the pile moves across the 25. Up to the 26-yard line for the Bison on that carry. Bussey with the carry once again. Still, for the life of me, and this is going to make me sound old probably because I am, but why would you want that much hair flying out of your helmet there, Mr. Mauk.
I guess I'm going to sound old too, because I do
you
not
don't get
know.
it either, do you?
I mean, in football, especially when you're in the trench, so many things are just getting grabbed and pulled, and I've never had long hair in my life, but I can't imagine it would feel very good.
Second down, the Bison need 2. Bussey will try to get it, and he won't.
Yeah, he's trying to get to the edge there. Couldn't see who it was for Youngstown State, but sometimes setting the edge doesn't necessarily mean making it turn back. Sometimes you just got to make them bubble a little bit.
I thought it was Jackie Beck, number 24. Tony Jackie Beck, a redshirt freshman.
Actually, yeah, now looking at the replay, it looks like he did cut it up a little bit, but wasn't able to make anything of it.
27 defensive players for Youngstown State are freshmen or redshirt freshmen.
That's insane. And you just got to hope some of those guys can grow fast and become leaders. You know, sometimes you need leaders at those younger ages, and they're going to need that when you go out the rest of the season.
Nolan will pass for the first down, and it's a connection to Braylon Henderson. More than enough for first down yardage. They mark him up to the 33.
I like the play call. That's aggressive. I mean, like, we talked about the 4-minute offense, but you really need to stay on the field, and sometimes if a pass is what you need to do, that's what you got to do. Get Zeb Nolan moving outside of the pocket a little bit. Nice pitch and catch for the first down.
Henderson had 3 catches in the Central Arkansas game. His first today, 6th overall as a Bison. Play clock was down to 3.
The ruling on the field was a completed catch for a first down.
We'll go back to the third down play as the officials up top want to look at it again. We can't see where the ball is once Henderson turns his back. Did he catch it clean? No. Did the ball hit the turf? That's what the guys upstairs are looking for. Sure looked like a catch.
Yeah, it looked like a catch to me.
When Nolan's been on the move today, I'm trying to think. I do not believe there has been a play off to his left. It seems like every roll has been to his right. But in this case, it's the wide side of the field as well.
Yep.
I mean, you don't have as many rollouts to the boundary.
And it makes sense for a right-handed quarterback, right? But I think that's going to be something at some point. You know, you look at your tendencies when you do self-scout.
A decision
after further review, the ruling on the field of a completed catch for a first down is confirmed.
Oh, confirmed. But yeah, I think, you know, you go back and look at that at some point during the season. Hey, we've done all our boots to the right. Teams know that. Let's mix it up on them here. Especially when this is first game and you're trying to get some easy completions, it does make sense. But I'm sure they'll switch that up at some point this year.
So it's a 1st and 10 for the Bison, 1:45 and counting away from picking up the first Valley win of the spring, 2nd overall win. Nolan will wait till 10 before he starts his count, and he'll hand it off straight up the middle. Canella goes to the 38. YSU takes the timeout.
And that was their last time out. So Penguins unable to stop the clock. We're about a first down away from ending this ball game.
Well, okay, you look at a situation like this and you go, okay, the context of the game. This game is over.
Yep.
But the teaching opportunities for the first-year head coach, his first staff, they don't ever stop.
No, absolutely
So this is, again, a teaching situation, even though the game is determined.
Yeah, why not? I mean, and you also want to instill kind of that mindset, right? If we're always going to compete, we're always going to try and win the game till that final whistle blows. But you're right, Lee. You got to teach these young guys, and you still want to install your defense, your offense. You're like, these guys are still learning all that. I know they've had a long off season, but it's just different when you get into the game. So they're going to be able to use all that kind of moving forward this spring and into the fall.
Canella once again straight up the middle, close to a first down. The center, Jalen Sundell, leading that play. Of all the things I saw in the bios when I was looking through one thing for Jalen that stuck out, number 72, he is the founder president of the Maryville High Bass Fishing Club.
That's awesome.
Love a guy who likes to go fishing.
I like it. I like it. Showing leadership too, right? Starting his own club, likes to go fishing. Seems like a good fit for a North Dakota State offensive lineman.
Maybe up here it needs to be the Walleye Club, but even though there's some awesome smallmouth bass fishing out in Lake Skakawea, there is some good largemouth bass spots too around the state. But Nolan will take the knee, and it depends on when they reset the clock. I'm pretty sure, nope, we're still going to need one more snap. So the Bison end up with 322 total yards, depending on how minus the next snap goes. Solid defensive effort today.
Yeah, I think really good defensive effort. You have to be really happy there. And even offense, I mean, there's a lot of new guys out there. This has been a weird offseason. If you're head coach Matt Entz, you know Youngstown State, maybe not the best team in the Valley, but they are a talented team, and you will take any win you can get in this league.
And the Bison get that win today, 25-7. The two number 8s say hello. Zeb Nolan's first start picks up his first win. For some reason, quarterbacks get credit for wins when everybody else, I don't know, but it's win number 39 in a row for North Dakota State. If the Bison can win next week at Southern Illinois, that would be number 40. It would be second all-time. The University of Washington had 40 in a row.
That is a crazy stat, isn't it? We didn't talk a lot about that in the pregame, but the last time NDSU lost a game, Easton Stick was the quarterback. He just finished his second year in the NFL. 2017, I think November of 2017, the last time this group lost a football game.
And the Bison had a 33-game streak that you were a part of that one, right?
I was a part of that one.
And I remember after that streak ended, Coach Kleiman was like, you better enjoy this because it's going to be a long time before something like this happens again. And then here NDSU does it again. And I remember when that streak was stopped too, down in Cedar Falls.
I do too.
And that was by a guy dominating who's in the NFL.
By a guy who became one of my teammates, actually, the Texans, David Johnson. He played pretty well that game, but no, how many times have we said that just around this football program as fans, even as players, as coaches, like, well, you know, this might not happen again, or it'll be a while before this happens again, and it just keeps happening and happening. But it's that simple formula I talked about. You know, you run the ball, you control the clock. As a defense, you get off the field, and you wear out the other defense, and then you play fundamental football, and you don't make mistakes, and you win a lot of football games.
So the Bison win today in this series against Youngstown. NDSU is now 11-4 overall. 9 straight wins over the Penguins for North Dakota State.
Which is impressive. And again, I was a part of that last loss, but Youngstown State's always have a talented team, and NDSU's been able to get them 9 times in a row.
Okay, Ryan Gellner has corralled the coach. Take it away, Ryan.
Coach, 320 yards of offense, really good on defense. Special teams was good. Your assessment of game number 1?
Well, you know, without having an opportunity to kind of reflect a little bit, you know, it was clean. No, I don't think we had a turnover, very few penalties. So those are, I thought, tackling-wise, defensively, we did a good job. Those are always the things you're most concerned about with an inexperienced group and game 1. I think this group has a chance to be special. I think they know they have to continue to get better every week. That's been kind of our thing that we've talked about quite a bit in our meetings and whatnot. But we needed to get this game under our belt, especially for a lot of the guys who haven't played.
Your assessment of, you had a new quarterback, you had new running backs, the positions everybody looks at, your assessment on those 2 areas.
I was excited the fact that we were able to run the football. There's a couple plays that you always wish you could have back. Jalen Sundell, Cody Mauk moving different, you know, Cordell moving to left tackle versus right tackle. You have a young man, Dom Ganella, running hard. And really pleased, Jalen Bussey picking up from where he left off a year ago. So excited about where we're at. I know we're not done improving. I know we're not done coaching them, and they're not done being coached.
Look forward to the next one. Good luck the rest of the way, Matt.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Guys.
Matt Entz, 25-7. Your final on the scoreboard. The Bison pick up the victory in the Valley Conference Spring Season Opener for NDSU. The Bison now go to 2-0 on the season. We'll be right back. Kyle and I will have much more on our post-game show, which is right around the corner. We'll be right back.